Well, hello there, Internet. How are you today? So, something cool just happened. I was out buying records because that's what I do, and I traveled to Fishtown area of Philadelphia, and I met with somebody that was selling some records, and the records were cool, really esoteric collection, but when I was there, what caught my eye was the fact that this particular gentleman had a dream machine. That's right, a dream machine. And if you don't know what a dream machine is, it is a device used to put yourself in a different state of mind, made with a record player or a turntable, and some very specific cuts onto something that you turn into a cylinder form with a light source. And I've always wanted to see one in action, and I got to see one today, and it was a really, really nice one. I did a quick interview with him. This really, really interesting, piece of equipment that blends imagination, ingenuity, and technology. Check it out.
So, Dizzy Edge fans, I'm in Fishtown, Philadelphia, and I just met with a gentleman, and I walked into his beautiful home here, and as I was getting ready to leave, I noticed this, and I asked him if it was a dream machine, which it definitely, obviously is. Why don't you tell me about this piece and how this piece came to be and how you made it?
So this is based on the actual Brian Gysin Dream Machine design. This is a perforated, essentially a perforated paper tube, and the guy that I fabricated with decided to paint the inside of the tube, which I've never seen before, and creates all kinds of crazy effects. But I decided to put a bulb in that changed color so I could see whether or not the wavelength of light affected the effect of the machine, and it really does. You can really see that depending upon what the temperature of the light is, it gives a completely different effect when you're using the machine.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and if I read up correctly on dream machines, there's a certain distance you're supposed to be away from it, and you're not supposed to actually look at it with your eyes open.
Exactly
you're supposed to close your eyes.
That's exactly right.
And allow the mechanism spinning at the certain, and all these cuts on the dream machine are at spec.
These are all the original design. I made sure that we fabricated it in such a way that it really was designed specific to what they had done, not an interpretation of it.
And furthermore, before starting to film, I did approach the dream machine, and I closed my eyes and went up, and it was rather amazing. The template or the canvas that was beginning to create just in that few seconds, I guess in my mind's eye, or against my eyelids and everything, and under the right circumstances, why don't you tell folks what this is supposed to do for the mind?
Sure. So the idea is that it's essentially creating like a frame rate of light. And your mind, through your eyes, but with them shut, kind of gets off and on and off and on. And that pattern begins to almost train your brain. And I will not pull any punches with you. You start to hallucinate pretty rapidly when you're 6 to 10 inches away from it with your eyes closed.
Right.
And it can even cause vertigo if you're not used to it. So I tell people, if they're going to use it, you really should sit down. It's a pretty disorienting machine, but when it does work, it is unlike anything that you've ever experienced.
That's a nice way to everything has its pros and cons, but it's a nice way for maybe an adventurer to go on a journey without introducing any kind of pharmaceuticals into their system.
It's completely pure in that sense. It is a pure light trip. And I'll tell you, I encourage people to have them. They're very restful on rainy days. If you just want to sit next to one, you'll feel, even if you're not staring into it, just the effect of being next to it is really noticeable.
We may need to talk. Maybe I could commission you to build me one.
Yeah.
I've always wanted one.
Well, this is, and one little technical note, this is a 3-speed school turntable. And though they suggest it, I'm running it at 78.
Yeah.
It has its own unique effects at 33 and 45.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for telling us about this.
Yep, my pleasure.
What an amazing thing to see for me today.
Well, you're the first person that ever knew what it was, so you get a certain award for that alone.
Well, we'll just call the opportunity to video it and have you explain it, the reward.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.